But anyway, I wanted to ask you, Jim, before I forget, do you know about telluric currents?
No.
About what kind of currents?
Telluric currents. I'll see if, since my browser worked for your website, I'll see if I can load it. Oh, come on. I think it's spelled
جورج
T-E-L.
بيكلمنا عن الناس اللي تستخدم الفي ار
I
في
think.
اشياء غير مقبولة.
I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've looked it up.
انه يبيع له مواد متفجرة وحاجة زي كذا. فاستغربت انا الصراحة.
No, you're fine. Take your time. I guess what inspires you to remember telluric currents?
You're talking about you know, this is interesting. I got another Arabic website. Maybe if your browser is working, these are natural electrical currents that are occurring in seawater, because when you have a conductor moving through magnetic fields, it generates electricity. And I thought of you because of your work with energy. I don't know what happens with the telluric currents on solid land. I don't know. But they were mapped about 150 or more years ago. If you can try and look it up in your browser, mine isn't working because I don't know.
You co-host, you can share screen if you find it.
Well, but my browser doesn't work. When I put in telluric currents,
go to YouTube.
Go to. Okay, I'll try. Let's see. I'll close this and.
YouTube University is the greatest.
YouTube. YouTube. Well, let's see. I'll see if I can. Yeah, it's just. Oh. No, it's not. I'm just getting weird stuff.
All right, so tell me how to spell it.
Try TELURIC and then currents.
Okay, I will go to Google now.
That's funny. Why does mine not work?
Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about Earth's natural energies. This is how telluric currents work.
Yeah.
I know a lot about.
Oh, that's how it's spelled. Okay.
Other presentations, which
I know
to eventually have a better understanding.
Suspicious observers on. He talks about the magnetic fields of the Earth and the pole flip and so on and so forth.
Series where
well, I mean, the telluric currents, they were actually mapped over 150 years ago.
Explain where
and
natural energies
they were mapped
I don't
by
know
the
if,
Egyptians.
and how they were concentrated.
Well, no, I mean the Egyptians couldn't because they didn't go around the world in the sea.
طبعا هم بيتكلموا عن الطاقة وكيف كانت.
No, they went in Brahmanas.
آلاف السنين. أنا الصراحة.
Well, I'd look at some scientific information because they were actually mapped, and I don't know how much, if anything, was ever done with them. Like I don't know if they have a practical application, if they generate enough electricity, but they were actually mapped. You can look up a map in Google. You can look up the telluric current map.
Okay.
Yeah, the spelling was there in the beginning, with 2 L's.
Give me spell,
and
please. T. Yeah. T. T-E-E-L-L.
L-U-R-I-C. Currents.
C.
I-C. Then currents with 2 R's. C-U-R-R-E-N-T-S. And then you can put in map.
Yes.
Put in map. See what you get.
Okay, map. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. They've got them going through the land. I thought they were just in the ocean.
Well,
there is a lot of maps here. Also this one. Yeah.
Like I learned about this a long time ago. I don't remember the details, just that nothing seems to be being done with it. So I don't know if it's something that's not being exploited because it's free, or if it just simply isn't enough.
Hey, you want to know an idea I thought of yesterday? I watch a YouTuber. His name is Dutch Sense, and Dutch is a earthquake forecaster.
Huh.
So
it's interesting because
he lives here in St. Louis, Missouri, United States, in the middle of the U.S. And the USGS and other government earthquake authorities call him a conspiracy theorist, and they dismiss his warnings because he is doing probably the most analog earthquake predicting that humans know. But I came across the project yesterday where they're using sensors, right? They're putting seismic sensors across the globe and putting AI to it and predicting earthquakes. So the idea is back to the decentralization of hardware. Don't you think if I think most California, like if California has that 9.0 earthquake.
Whoa.
All the drilling sites and all the military sites, nuclear sites, and the solar farms and all the wind farms, they are putting off a low frequency energy, which is not good for human beings. We need high frequency energy.
Well, I saw over the years interesting reports about animals behaving strangely just before an earthquake. Like a couple of days before the earthquake, they can feel something. I saw theories about energy building up. And what was really interesting here, I mean, we're also on a fault line and we get earthquakes. But what's really interesting is because, we're going into the cyclone season, or we're in it. A friend was showing me how these wild wasps normally build their nest up high in a tree. And when you see the wasps building a nest, like at the bottom, at the bottom of a bush, it means that a cyclone is coming. It's like he said they somehow know, and they've observed over the years that when the wasps, instead of making the high nest, make it low, which is a risk for them, the nest can be damaged, but they take the risk, build it low, because they feel that a cyclone might be coming. And, I think this stuff is amazing.
No, again, it's all about data collection, right? How do we get smarter? We got to collect these data points that are not on Google or, on Bing. And that's an interesting point when it comes to building your own large language model for AI. As an entrepreneur, as an educator, as a philosopher, as a just, an everyday average.
Because you are talking about energy, what about Tesla? I watch several videos in YouTube they said Tesla tried to build electric or powers or energy and made it free for all the world. This is true or just a show in the YouTube?
No, this is not. Tesla. This is all the videos. I shouldn't say that. What I should say is that Nikola Tesla, if you look at the history, and again, the dictators write our history. Whatever information we have access to dictates our belief system. So what I wasn't taught in the information that I was able to seek and find was, yes, that Nikola Tesla was a very prophetic individual. He was gifted, and yes, his theories and mathematics could give free energy to the world. Everything that you've seen in most of the explainer videos are likely true, and he did die a lonely, sad death because the powers that be, meaning J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers and the king in Europe or whoever the hell was in charge, they wanted to monetize it. His name was Thomas Edison. And here in America, they realized that why would we give people free energy? We should tax them and charge them for this energy and create this electrical system. Again, like look in Egypt. The pyramids were an energy generator of some sort, maybe a transformer, maybe a generator, and maybe a capacitor. We don't know, but it has some really deep questions to ask.
Yeah, I watch also.
Well, you know, to me, Tesla
is generating electric and the bus for the pharaohs or the Egyptian people. Get electric. Get electric and
but you know, to me,
by pyramids.
Yep.
You know, to me, Tesla was like an Elon Musk, but way before his time. Like some of the things he invented didn't work. Like if you look up the history of the Tesla turbine, they would blow up. He didn't have good enough materials. Now you can buy a Tesla turbine on eBay. It's a very efficient, there's more efficient hydroelectric turbines now, you know, with modern technology and computer simulation. But his turbine was surprisingly efficient for its time. But when it began to spin really fast, it just broke apart. So now we have materials to make them allow to spin really fast. So, you know, if he had today's materials and access to AI, there's no telling what he could have done, because, you know, some people laugh at some of the stuff he did. Not his fault. He simply did not have the materials in his time. You know, I mean, when I saw Musk is launching rocket ships that weigh 4,400 tons, I mean, can you imagine something the size of a small apartment building flying into space, weighing 4,400 tons? And he's making some of these rockets out of stainless steel. Like, who would have guessed a stainless steel rocket and reusable, the thing lands again? I mean, you know, Tesla didn't have materials like that. If he did, you know, if he had like 3D printers that use metal and, you know, all that we have today, there's no telling what he could have done. You know, he was a genius just way before his time.
Yeah, that's right.
So rewinding back a little bit from the modern SpaceX technology and the modern, you know, Tesla or Elon Musk. I admire Elon Musk
Elon Musk, yeah.
But I can rewind, 15 years of my life. There was times where I really appreciated Elon Musk. There's times where I don't trust Elon Musk. There's times where I question Elon Musk, right? Like, why does this one man have the key to the U.S. NASA?
Good question, yeah.
And to all this shit.
Yeah.
These are good questions.
Right.
He is unpredictable and uncontrollable. And yeah, I mean, he both inspires me and scares me because the amount of power people like him have, or, like ChatGPT with OpenAI, the research they're doing into, like, when they say they'll be releasing full human intelligence level AI within about a year, and they have no idea how it's going to affect people or society. And then after that, super intelligence. I mean, can you just imagine using a computer that's like 1,000 times human intelligence? And at what point do the computers become self-aware?
Yes. George, yes, I can imagine that. But
I can't.
I find it very doubtful that in a year from now, or even 5 years from now, we will reach AGI or any other sort of ChatGPT is one thing, and in some of my research, what I've realized is, so we're all excited about ChatGPT and Claude and all these other AI tools that we have at our fingertips today, but I'm not an educated man. I'm just a wise man from, living here on planet Earth. There is 90% more information on planet Earth that is not that is analog. It's not digital. Mm-hmm. So imagine all these different libraries, to where if we can get people scanning that information into the AI, it would be, it would take OpenAI and any of these AI companies, it would blow them out of the water. And that's where the technology is going to go. It's going to go to where, the segment of the top 5 industries, the medical industry, preventative health. AI will have a big part in preventative health. You don't have to go to a doctor.
If people want to use it. Like here in Fiji, when I used to come here a long time ago, the native diet was really healthy because it was natural, all from nature. The South Pacific edible greens are far healthier than the European greens, like salad, lettuce and spinach, far healthier. Really good diet here a long time ago. People lived in native thatched huts, which were actually safer in cyclones, because when they knew a cyclone was coming, they would hide in a cave or somewhere. And yeah, the huts would blow away, but now we've got huts made out of, like a tin, metal, out of sheets of thin metal, and roofing metal, which is like a corrugated metal. And during a cyclone, the sheets of metal can fly off and are extremely dangerous. They're like flying huge razor blades. So, and with the Western diet, if instant noodles, white bread, all the bubbly drinks and Coca-Cola, tons of alcohol, huge obesity rate, it's terrible. So, the preventative medicine only works if people want it. And here they know enough not to eat junk food, not to overeat, not to drink Coca-Cola and other rubbish, and they do it anyway. I think you have to first, I don't know, like people need to want it. And it's like everywhere in the world where the Western diet has gone, health gets worse. And I've heard a saying that the modern malnutrition looks like obesity because calories are so cheap and nutritious food is more expensive or sometimes even unavailable.
Yeah, organic food.
So it's, and when it comes to the AGI, like I don't know what to say because I'm listening to the experts, people like Steve Altman and Ilya and, like the people who are actually involved with it, the designers, the inventors. And I just saw in the news about 3 weeks ago that a company in Australia already has what they claim to be a human level artificial intelligence, and they'll be turning it on in 2 weeks. So theoretically, they've turned it on already. Like we have no idea what's happening in the labs. But one thing they agree on is that the development is speeding up because they're using AI to help create other AI. So the 5-year prediction, I've heard that, some say 5, some say 8, but some also say that it's already in the labs. So who the hell, see, this is the thing, is that the people who are shaping the world are doing it in their labs, and we have no idea what they're doing or where they're going. And we have no say, no control, and they're doing it.
So it kind of reminds me of the Web 2, right? When the .com era, the whole Silicon Valley era, meaning Google, Facebook, YouTube, all these software conglomerates that have I shouldn't say every, but that have millions and billions of people on planet Earth clicking the yes, I agree to, the terms and conditions. Just like TikTok, right?
Yeah.
That's the latest is governments across the globe are banning TikTok because it's a spy tool.
Oh, well, what isn't? What isn't a spy tool? Laurel at one of the educators events was talking about how even in AI, very quickly, they could identify who you are, and not just from your voice. Even if you don't speak at all and have no eye tracking, just from the way your avatar moves, your postures or your movements, they can identify you. Identifying someone walking down the street with a face recognition or body movement recognition software, that's one thing because you're actually watching their body move. But apparently they can even identify who you are in VR if you don't talk. So, what isn't a spy tool? Is anything not a spy tool these days?
Well, again, that was to my point, and thank you for focusing on that, George. We need to democratize. We need to democratize and decentralize. Correct. We don't want Amazon Web Services and Google and Facebook and all these platforms that have digitally enslaved us and taken all of our rights without all. Again, we don't even realize we're clicking the button. It's just. Well, human nature. We just want to be a part of the club. We need to create the new.
You have no choice. If you don't click the button, if you don't push the button, you don't get access to the app. And when you talk like this, you remind me a lot of a guy in Australia. He wanted democratization and use VR for democratization to have meetings. We would otherwise never have met. We can still speak openly, but I really wonder when what we say will be monitored, like me telling my friend about the nitric acid and mentioning explosives, because for all we know, they could be an invisible avatar by someone from the CIA or whoever. We have no idea what they're doing, maybe
Correct.
When we were in alt
space.
They
could classify us as being a terrorist, and then all of a sudden, our bank accounts shut off. Because we're on a digital.
We need the democratization of like a platform, and also headsets. Like I've been trying to look for open source headsets, buy the circuit boards and display screens and stuff, and 3D print the headsets because the biggest feature we need in developing countries is repairability. Like, you know, even here, the lenses will fog up. For the HTC Vive, I was able to get aftermarket glass lenses. So they're pretty hard to scratch. The plastic lenses, someone rubs it with a dirty T-shirt, and next thing you know, your lenses are scratched up. So how am I supposed to tell
George,
an education institution, throw it out?
My theory on that
Yep.
is, yes, I agree with you. The availability of the hardware, of high quality hardware at our fingertips, is important to grow the industry. But you have to think in the righteous sense, what we're trying to do is basically unhandcuff humanity from the world elite that have been fucking enslaving us. So that being said, the technology, the hardware, that's the least of our worries, because we can have all the hardware in the world, but if we don't have the semiconductor processing chips pushing the AI, pushing the metaverse, pushing all of the data that we want on a democratized, decentralized blockchain for us, the people.
No.
I don't think it's as difficult of a war or a battle as most humans think of it. Why? Because we've all relinquished our sovereignty to Google, Facebook, Amazon, and our government. Once we realize our capabilities and our power,